Picture this. You're sitting at your kitchen table, calculator in hand, staring at your bank statements and pension documents. You've been working for decades, saving when you can, and now that big question keeps you awake at night. Do I have enough to actually retire? You're not alone. Thousands of people in their 50s and 60s across the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia are asking themselves this exact same question right now. And here's the thing that makes it even harder. Everywhere you look, you get a different answer. One article says you need $2 million. Another says £1 million is plenty. Your neighbor swears he's retiring on far less, while your sister insists it's impossible without 3 times that amount. So what's the truth? Today, we're going to cut through the confusion and break down what you really need to retire comfortably. We'll look at the factors that matter most, explore real numbers across 4 countries, and give you a clear framework to figure out your own retirement number. Welcome to Retiree Secrets, where we make retirement simple, one step at a time. Before we dive into specific numbers, let's understand why this question matters so much. Retirement isn't just about stopping work. It's about sustaining your lifestyle without a regular paycheck for potentially 20, 30, or even 40 years. That's a long time. The challenge is that retirement looks different in Boston than it does in Brisbane, different in Toronto than in Birmingham. Each country has its own retirement age, government pension system, healthcare costs, and cost of living. But here's the good news. Despite these differences, the fundamental principles remain the same everywhere. Think of retirement planning like filling a bathtub. You need enough water, that's your money, to last the entire bath. The size of your tub depends on how long you'll live and how you like to live. Some people need a bigger tub because they plan long holidays and expensive hobbies. Others are perfectly happy with a smaller tub because they live simply. Your tub also has taps that keep adding water. That's your government pension, any private pensions, and investment income. The question isn't just, how much water do I need? But, how much water do I need given what's already flowing in? Over the next 20 minutes, we're going to show you how to calculate your tub size, understand your taps, and feel confident about your retirement number. Let's start with the foundation. Financial planners worldwide use a simple rule as a starting point. It's called the 4% rule. Here's how it works. If you withdraw 4% of your retirement savings each year, adjusted for inflation, your money should last at least 30 years. This means if you need $40,000 a year in the United States to cover your living expenses, you'd need $1 million saved. $40,000 is 4% of $1 million. In the UK, if you need £30,000 annually, you'd need £750,000. In Canada, 40,000 Canadian dollars requires 1 million Canadian. In Australia, 50,000 Australian dollars means you need 1.25 million Australian. Now, before you panic at these numbers, remember, this is just a starting point. These figures assume you're relying entirely on your savings. Most people aren't. You probably have government pension benefits coming, maybe workplace pensions, perhaps rental income or part-time work. We'll factor all of that in shortly. The 4% rule isn't perfect, and many experts debate whether it's too conservative or not conservative enough in today's world. But it gives us a useful baseline to work from. Keep this formula in your mind as we build on it. This is where most people get stuck. They don't really know how much they spend each year. Before you can figure out what you need to understand your current spending. Sit down and track 3 categories. First, essential expenses, housing costs like mortgage or rent, property taxes, utilities, insurance, food, transportation, and healthcare. Second, lifestyle expenses, dining out, entertainment, hobbies, travel, gifts, and subscriptions. Third, unexpected expenses, home repairs, car replacement, medical emergencies. For most people, essential expenses run between $2,000 and $4,000 per month, depending on where they live and whether they still have a mortgage. That's $24,000 to $48,000 per year in the US, or roughly 18,000 to 36,000 pounds in the UK, 30,000 to 60,000 Canadian dollars, or 35,000 to 70,000 Australian dollars. Here's an interesting pattern that emerges. Many people find their expenses actually drop in retirement. The mortgage might be paid off. You're not commuting to work anymore. You're not buying professional clothes or contributing to retirement accounts. On the other hand, some expenses go up, especially healthcare and travel if you plan to explore during your retirement years. A realistic estimate is that you'll need about 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income to maintain the same lifestyle. So if you're earning $60,000 now, plan for spending around $42,000 to $48,000 in retirement. This is where things get interesting and where the 4 countries we're discussing differ significantly. Let's break down what you can expect from government retirement programs. In the United States, Social Security provides the foundation. The average Social Security payment in 2025 is around $1,900 per month, or about $23,000 per year. However, this varies widely based on your earning history. High earners might receive $3,500 per month, while lower earners might get $1,200. You can claim reduced benefits as early as age 62 or wait until 70 for maximum benefits. Most financial experts recommend waiting if you can because the increase is substantial. About 8% per year you delay past your full retirement age. In the United Kingdom, the state pension is simpler and flatter. As of 2025, the full new state pension is about £11,500 per year. You need 35 qualifying years of national insurance contributions to get the full amount. You can claim it at your state pension age, which is currently 66 and gradually rising to 67. In Canada, you have 2 main programs, the Canada Pension Plan or Quebec Pension Plan, which averages around $8,000 Canadian dollars annually, and Old Age Security, which provides about $7,500 per year. Combined, that's roughly $15,500 Canadian dollars. You can start CPP as early as 60, though the amount is reduced or delay until 70 for a larger payment. OAS typically begins at 65. In Australia, the age pension is means tested, which makes it more complex. A single person might receive up to about 29,000 Australian dollars per year, while couples get about 44,000 combined. However, this reduces if you have significant assets or income from other sources. You're generally eligible at age 67. Now we're going to put the puzzle together. Take out a piece of paper and create 3 columns. Column 1. List all your expected government benefits based on what we just discussed. Column 2. Add any private pensions, workplace retirement plans, or annuities you have. In the US, this might be a 401k or pension. In the UK, workplace pensions or SIPPs. In Canada, RRSPs or company pensions. In Australia, your superannuation. Column 3. Estimate income from other sources like rental properties, part-time work, or dividends from investments. Add up all 3 columns. This is your annual income in retirement before drawing down your personal savings. Now, subtract this total from your estimated annual expenses we calculated in Step 2. The difference is your income gap, the amount you need to cover from your savings each year. Let's use an example. Suppose you need $50,000 per year in retirement. You'll receive $25,000 from Social Security and $10,000 from a small pension. That's $35,000 in total income. Your gap is $15,000 per year. Using our 4% rule, you'd need about $375,000 in savings to generate that $15,000 annually. Suddenly, the magic retirement number seems more achievable, doesn't it? Not everyone fits the average, and that's okay. Several factors might mean you need more or less than the standard calculations suggest. First, consider your health and longevity. If you have excellent health and longevity runs in your family, plan for a longer retirement. Maybe 35 or 40 years instead of 30. This means you might want to use a 3.5% withdrawal rate instead of 4%, which increases the amount you need to save. Second, think about your housing situation. If you own your home outright, your expenses are dramatically lower than if you're renting or still paying a mortgage. Owning a home might reduce your needed retirement savings by $200,000 to $400,000, depending on your location. Third, consider healthcare costs carefully. In the US, this is critical because you'll need to cover health insurance until you qualify for Medicare at 65. Budget at least $500 to $1,000 per month for premiums. In the UK, The NHS provides coverage, but many retirees buy supplemental private insurance. In Canada, provincial health coverage helps, but you might need private insurance for prescriptions and dental. In Australia, Medicare provides basic coverage, though many maintain private health insurance. Fourth, inflation matters. Everything gets more expensive over time. What costs $50,000 today might cost $90,000 in 20 years. That's why we adjust withdrawals for inflation in the 4% rule. Fifth, consider your lifestyle plans. Do you want to travel extensively in your early retirement years? Budget extra for the first decade? Planning to downsize your home eventually? That future home sale could provide a cushion later. Many people follow what's called the go-go, slow-go, no-go retirement pattern. The first decade is active and expensive. The second decade slows down a bit. The final years are quieter and less costly. Life is unpredictable, and retirement is long. Smart planning includes a buffer for the unexpected. Here's a practical approach. Once you've calculated your retirement number using all the steps above, add an additional 20 to 25% as a safety margin. If you calculated you need $500,000, aim for $600,000 to $625,000. This buffer protects you against several risks. Market downturns that hit early in retirement can significantly impact your savings. This is called sequence of returns risk. A safety margin helps you weather those storms. Major unexpected expenses like extensive home repairs, helping adult children financially, or uncovered medical costs can derail a tight budget. Extra cushion gives you flexibility. You might also live longer than expected. While we plan for average life expectancy, plenty of people exceed it. That safety margin extends your runway. Let me introduce you to Margaret, a 58-year-old teacher from Toronto. She's been teaching for 30 years and is thinking about retiring at 65. Let's walk through her situation using everything we've learned. Margaret currently earns 70,000 Canadian dollars annually. She owns a condo with the mortgage paid off and estimates her annual property taxes, condo fees, utilities, and insurance run about $12,000. She spends roughly $24,000 on food, transportation, and other essentials, and another $12,000 on lifestyle expenses like dining out, her book club, and visiting her daughter in Vancouver twice a year. That's $48,000 total, which is about 69% of her current income, right in that typical range. At 65, Margaret will receive about $9,000 from CPP and $7,500 from OAS, totaling $16,500. She also has a teacher's pension that will pay about $24,000 annually. Combined, her retirement income will be $40,500 per year. Her expenses are $48,000, leaving a gap of $7,500 annually. Using the 4% rule, Margaret needs about $187,500 in savings to cover this gap for 30 years. Good news. Margaret has $250,000 in her RRSP. She's in excellent shape. Even after adding a 20% safety buffer, which would bring her target to $225,000, she exceeds the goal. Margaret can retire at 65 with confidence. She might even consider retiring a year earlier, though that would reduce her CPP somewhat. The key insight from Margaret's story is this. Retirement security isn't just about having $1 million. It's about understanding all your income sources and making sure they cover your actual needs. Let's address some dangerous misconceptions that trip people up. Mistake number 1, assuming you need exactly $1 million to retire. This is the most persistent myth out there. As we've seen, your actual number depends entirely on your personal situation. Some people can retire comfortably on $300,000. Others might struggle even with $1.5 million. The number isn't the goal. Sustainable income is. Mistake number 2, forgetting about taxes. Your retirement income is often taxable. In the U.S., Social Security might be partially taxable depending on your total income. Pension and 401k withdrawals are usually taxed as ordinary income. In the UK, you have a personal allowance, but pension income above that is taxed. In Canada, CPP, OAS, and RRSP withdrawals are all taxable. In Australia, superannuation is generally tax-free after 60, but other income may be taxed. Make sure your calculations account for taxes, or you'll come up short. Mistake number 3, underestimating how long retirement lasts. A 65-year-old in good health today might live to 90 or even 100. That's 25 to 35 years of retirement, longer than most people's careers. Plan for longevity. Mistake number 4, panicking and not starting. Some people calculate their number, realize they're behind, and give up entirely. Don't do this. Even if you're 55 and haven't saved much, you still have time to improve your situation. Working just 2 or 3 extra years makes an enormous difference because you're earning longer, saving more, delaying withdrawals, and reducing the number of retirement years you need to fund. Mistake number 5, ignoring the power of part-time work. Many retirees today work part-time for the first 5 or 10 years of retirement, not because they have to, but because they enjoy it. Even earning $10,000 to $15,000 annually part-time can reduce your savings needs by $250,000 to $375,000. That's significant. You've absorbed a lot of information, so let's bring it together into clear action steps. First, track your current spending for at least 3 months to understand your real expenses. Use an app, a spreadsheet, or even a notebook. You can't plan for the future without knowing your present. Second, create your personal retirement income statement. List all your expected income sources: government benefits, pensions, investments, rental income. Be realistic and conservative in your estimates. Third, calculate your annual income gap by subtracting your total retirement income from your estimated retirement expenses. This gap is the critical number that your personal savings needs to fill. Fourth, determine your target savings using the 4% rule, then add a 20 to 25% safety buffer. This is your goal number. Fifth, compare your current savings to your target goal. If you're on track, excellent. Now focus on maintaining your plan. If you're behind, don't panic. Look at options like working a few extra years, reducing planned expenses, downsizing your home, or planning to work part-time in early retirement. Sixth, review your plan annually. Life changes, expenses change, and markets change. Your retirement plan should be a living document you adjust over time, not something you create once and forget. Remember, retirement planning isn't about perfection. It's about having a clear, realistic understanding of where you stand and what adjustments might help you get where you want to be. Many people feel overwhelmed by retirement planning, and that's completely normal. You're making decisions that will affect the next 30 years of your life. Take it one step at a time. You now have a framework for answering that crucial question. How much do you really need to retire? The answer isn't a one-size-fits-all number you hear on television or read in magazines. It's personal, based on your expenses, your income sources, your country, your health, and your dreams for retirement. For some viewers, that number might be $400,000. For others, it could be £800,000 or 1.2 million Australian dollars. What matters is that you now know how to calculate your specific number and understand the factors that influence it. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to Retire Right for more clear explanations about life after work. We publish new videos every week covering everything from investment strategies to healthcare planning to lifestyle design and retirement. Next, you might want to watch our video on the 5 best countries to retire on a budget. It explores how your retirement savings can stretch further in unexpected places around the world. Thank you for watching. This video is for educational purposes only. Always check your local regulations or speak with a qualified professional before making financial decisions. Take care, and remember, a well-planned retirement isn't about having the most money. It's about having enough money to live the life you want. And that's absolutely achievable with the right knowledge and planning. See you in the next video.